So I figured I'd better make this little movie here. I want to show you something. There's a picture of a check that I shipped out for a purchase of 2 helicopters, which is total $1,600. Okay, and then the conversation is check is on its way. It says, sounds good, what about the radio? What I was going to do is I was going to send him a DX9 to program one of the helicopters that had a 700BX in it. And I thought if I did that, he could keep the radio, you know, because the helicopters looked really nice. And I wanted to make sure that I got things taken care of. I'm not perfect at setting up helicopters. I'm still new to the game. But he assured me that everything was top notch and the helicopters were in good shape. So anyway, I sent him my address. And then this is September 17th. On the 20th, I said, did you get the check yet? He said, not yet. And I said, and then this was on Monday. I said, well, I bought a motor from a guy who's just about as far east as you, and he got his check today. So hopefully you'll have your check today, brother. Let me know. So he says check showed. Now in between all this conversation, I got several calls from him saying how, you know, I was going to love these custom helicopters and they're just absolutely fantastic, and you know, the whole 9 yards. And so basically this video is going to show you what I bought for $1,650. I sent him $1,600 because I told him, I said, you know, the $1,600 is $100 for, you know, programming it in. He just helped me out getting, you know, figured I was being pretty nice. And so anyway, he cashed that check, no problem. And come to find out that shipping through USPS was about $150 because he told me that I owed him another $50. So I said, okay. Check showed nice, you know. Did you by chance get the tracking numbers? This was a day later. And I said, did both go out? He said, they both will go out today, and I will send you tracking. And so I thought he was going to send them out the day I told him to send them out, as he said he would. Oh, I thought you already sent them. Well, at least let me know the numbers, please. In other words, I'm being nice to the guy. So he sends me the tracking numbers, for both boxes. I said, check is out, Pete. Forgot yesterday, busy day. I didn't put the $50 check in there. Instantaneously, in between these conversations, you know, I always heard about, again, how the helicopters, they couldn't wait for me to see them, how impressed I was going to be, and how he bubble wrapped the hell out of them, and there shouldn't be any damage, and, you know, this and that and the other. And so, you know, I was okay with it, you know, but there was a little bit of a red flag. I was kind of like, well, if somebody tries to sell me this hard on something, usually my luck goes south. And so anyway, you want to put it in my Wells Fargo account? I said, it's in the mail, brother. So I already sent it out, you know. And he said, okay, thanks. You should get the copters today, which I did. So they showed up. The boxes were in really good shape. A couple little dings, but nothing real major. For USPS, it was really quite shocking. I was totally stoked and couldn't wait to open the box. Upon opening the box, I sent him pictures of what I had, and I said, not good. It looks like it's been cracked for a while. I don't know what the deal is. If I'd known this one was so small, I probably wouldn't have bought it. Again, just so I am telling you guys, I want you to understand something. I'm still new to helicopters. I didn't realize it was this small. This, the red and silver one was the small one for $500. And I did buy a little 360 for $599 brand new. It came with the receiver and everything. This came with just the body and the helicopter, which is probably worth about $700 or $800. That would be if it was in perfect shape, but you know, here you go. That's one of those deals that you got to try to figure out and see whether or not. I probably wouldn't have bought it. Might just end up giving it to a friend. It's really not my size. I have to open the other box, but I hope it's in better condition. So I opened the other box and found serious problems, you know, as bubble wrap and all stuff, and I'll show you all this stuff. And I said, not good. And the band and everything needs to be adjusted on the other helicopter. We just got days before these are ready to fly. A little bit disappointed. A lot of money for helicopters that are not really in that great a shape. I'll show you what I mean. So I was taking pictures and showing them different things, and I'll show you here on film. I'll show you this piece here and the whole 9 yards. I will not be as proud of these helicopters as I am of my big one. Thanks anyway, brother. there's something here that you'll see. This is the one that I bought. I just bought it from a friend of mine for $1,500, custom built and ready to go. And as a matter of fact, I flew it today, which was absolutely phenomenal. It's a 700 UL. I just love it. And it was a $1,500 spent real well. So I have no problem buying stuff. And if you look at my ratings, you'll see that I buy some pretty good stuff. Anyway, so Phil, my buddy who built this helicopter, said, Rod, you really need to get a hold of this guy and see if he'll work with you. And, you know, you just really got taken advantage of here. And so I asked him, I said I kind of looked him over with my buddy Phil, who sold me this helicopter. And I got to say, it's really rough, dude. I'm not really happy at all. I hope you understand. I just sent you another check for shipping, and it's just out on $1,550 on a couple of helicopters I got to do some serious work to. If you want me to send them back to you, I will. If I'm stuck with them, that's fine. I'll give you the option. Let me know, because I don't want to be an asshole. I've never been that way. I figured usually if somebody is calling you on something that maybe you ought to do the right thing. The touch-up paint on the boom that I showed you on the last picture was touched up with a magic marker. And for most of you who know me on RCU Universe, you know I'm a custom painter, so I know this to be true. Magic marker looks kind of like bluish black on black. If you ever put black magic marker over black paint, you'll know what I'm saying. It turns kind of a bluish color, and it's not paint. All it does is kind of mask the problem. So I'm still on small vacation, brother. Am I stuck with these? Just let me know either way. And he kept never saying anything. He said, didn't know. I said, I didn't know if you wanted them back. His reply was, I don't want them back. We'll get you the canopy for the red and silver one, and you can collect the insurance money, and we'll collect insurance money. We'll send you a couple of hundred back. Sorry for the problem. We'll work on the deal on the 500E if you want. I said, okay, so you'll collect the cash, and you'll just send me a couple hundred. I'm out a ton of cash. Wow, okay. I said, have a great day, brother. I was kind of upset. And then he says, I will give you the receipts and the insurance, and you can collect each box is insured for $300 and a box that's $600. Now, how's that? And the cash, the $50 check. I said, it will take 6 months to get the money. No biggie. I'll post them on RCU. No way I'll get my money back on them. I'll deal. It'd be nice if you tore up my check, which was the $50 check that's still in the mail. Should be there today or tomorrow. It's today's Sunday, so it probably won't show up today, but maybe tomorrow. Sorry, dude. It's just very disappointing. I was expecting a couple of real nice helis. They are not. You know that. It will take up to 30 days at most. $600 is pretty good. They fucked them up. Not my fault. You knew you bought a 450, which, like I said, I'm still new. I'm okay with it. It just really wasn't my deal. I said, did you see the pics? Now, this is where I became a smartass, because I got tired of listening to just empty words, if you know what I mean. It said, did you see the pics? Show them those pics, meaning the U.S. Post Office. I'm sure they will take the blame. I guess what I'm saying is, they're not in good shape at all. They have been banged up real good. I should have gotten a few more pics. My bad. In other words, I admitted I had a problem. So now, let's just show you what I got for my money here. This is the 500. This canopy has been burnt, or it's been heated up or something. You can see my hand. See how small it is? And most of you guys know that I got a small helicopter. Windows are broken out. This is everything works, but this band is like seriously loose, so it's got to be adjusted. I mean, this is not a flyable helicopter. Just not flyable at all. Let me put the camera down real quick, and then get the canopy off. I want to show you what I got for my money. And this glass is they're just breaking out. So this is what I got for my money. And if you notice right here, see how this is broke? You can actually move everything inside. Let me see if I can put the camera to it so we can show you. There you go. See how everything's just moving? It's all broke. And this didn't happen in shipping. Come on. It's just not, it's not done right. It's basically half-assed, if you want my opinion. It's really half-assed. So, and then if you look at the top of the cowling, this crack has been there a while. This is not something that happened in shipping, and neither is this burn mark. It's been burnt. Either a heat gun got close to it or it was sitting out or something and it pressed on it. Now again, I reiterate, the box was in good shape. It had 1 or 2 dings, but not even close to where this is at. So he basically knew that this was like this. There's no way you couldn't have, okay? So now the one that I really, really wanted. This here is on a line frame. And so I get it, and I'm looking at this thing as it's put together. It has retracts in it, and so I'm kind of like, well, it's not bad, except this tail boom was broke off, and I glued it back. So there's some chip marks that I'll have to fix on. Hey, you know what? I think things happen sometimes. Things get broken off in shipping. I don't hold them accountable for this, but I do hold them accountable for a few things, okay? First of all, a guy who has pristine helicopters don't cut these out with a knife. Okay, if you take this and you move this swash blade up and down, see what it does to that canopy? There's no clearance in there. So there's no way that this helicopter probably ever flew, and if it did, it probably broke something. Now this is the way it showed up. I haven't taken anything out. The battery's kind of all hammered and haggard. And I want you to notice these servos. Everything's good except screws are missing. There's no way this flew. I mean, if this is a custom built helicopter, these screws are missing. In other words, I'm going to have to go through this helicopter and really do a lot of work to it. Now, this is the best part of it. You turn it over. Now, you got to remember, these are pristine helicopters. Now, see this? I don't know if you can see it in the right light. But see how that's been broken off? And it looks like it's been epoxied back on or glued back on, and then it's been kind of done with a magic marker. So the magic marker is not a really good paint match if you ask me. And then if you look right, it's kind of hard to see. I'm trying to get it in the right light. Oh, there you can see it. See the difference in the color? That's magic marker. This is paint. So this has obviously been broken off or scratched, and he used a magic marker to cover this one up over here. Again, this is not a pristine helicopter. Just a little bit disappointed. This is how it was all put together. So needless to say, there's a lot of work. I mean, I've cut a lot of control horns in my life, and that's pretty rough. I mean, take a look. That's really, really rough. So there's a lot of work to do on it. And this was the high dollar one that I bought. And needless to say, I'm not too happy with it. There's a lot of grinding here to get taken care of. So this works. And I'll do it. It just, it's going to be my thrasher, I guess. I mean, that's all it's really good for. It's not good for anything else. Anyway, I did, I tried to, see if he'd work with me and possibly take him back and give him my money back, because I'm just definitely not happy at all. But I didn't get that kind of response. And so I guess the only thing I can tell you is if you're dealing on RC Universe, you might want to watch out for guys like this, because this is not good. Oh, this was the other piece that I was pointing to in that photograph. Now, these are pristine helicopters. You got to remind yourself of that. This is what you're told, that these helicopters are completely custom, and when they show up to the field, everybody looks at them, and boy, I'll tell you what, they get all their kinds of attention and the whole 9 yards. Yeah, I'm sure they do with drops of glue. See, like glue? Just gobs, and scratched windows, and looks like glue, and it's been sanded, and just rough, just absolutely rough. And this, okay, I realize that for the most part, $1,500 is not a lot for a couple of helicopters, but man, how much work are you going to put in these to make them look decent enough to where you take them to the field, somebody says, man, who built this? You know what I mean? I'm absolutely sick. I feel like it was done wrong. The guy won't work with me at all. If it was me, I probably would have never sold these to anybody and claimed them to be fantastic shape. $1,000 for that is, I don't know. I guess with the body and everything, if it was really perfect, it would definitely have been worth it, but it's just not. I got a lot of work to do to even make it somewhat nice. And when you look at stuff that I'm building in my shop, like this airplane here, where everything is chromed, everything is polished, everything is done right, I mean, yeah, my desk is a mess right now because I've been kind of busy. You know, my interior is all done right. I mean, now this is aircraft. You look at my Beaver, and it's 100% just really nice. All my holes are cut out perfectly. My Corsair, where everything is done nice. And then you go back and you spend big money and you get this. It's really, really tough. So let me ask you guys a question. Would you spend $1,500 on this mess? Or would you come over and to your nice Dodge pickup that you take good care of and buy this 700 that flies absolutely flawless with beautiful servos and everything for $1,500? I don't know. I'm thinking that these would be in the trash. Anyway, I guess what I'm saying is I'm not mentioning any names. I'm not saying who sold them to me. I'm not incriminating. I'm also not giving them a rating because I don't want to be negative. But when you buy something like that and it flies as good as it does when it's ready to go, and I got to do all this work to make these happen, I can honestly tell you I'm not a very happy guy. So anyway, take it from me, do your research, make sure it's really what you want when you buy it, because man, I got hosed and I'm out a lot of money, and I just wish he would have said, you know what, if you're not happy, I'll take them back, I'll sell them to somebody else, and it would have probably made me happy. But as far as I'm concerned, I hope he never sells another helicopter. I really don't. So anyway, there you go, there's your video. Have a good day, and try to protect yourself the best way you can, because this is definitely not cool. Just, oh God, I'm just absolutely sick. I could have used that $1,500 and bought me another nice one. So anyway, no biggie.